Hello everyone and welcome back to Anuradha and Harini's innovative channel. Today I'm going to teach you all the chapter The Russian Revolution. In class 9 it is one of the most biggest chapter. So let's try to make this chapter a bit more easier and make it into a story. Come on, follow me in my journey. So, when you look at this chapter, what do you think about it? Just pause the video and think. You feel it's very difficult? Oh my god, it's so confusing. But let me tell you, wait. Do not give up. Try to understand this chapter. And I'm sure that after I complete this entire video series of Russian Revolution, all of you will be able to understand the chapter and write all the answers for this chapter in the exam. So try listening to me, making notes, etc. You'll surely get this chapter. But I'm telling you, do not give up. You can do it. So basically, this entire chapter is divided into two parts: socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. So, first we'll be learning about the socialism in Europe and then we'll go on to the Russian Revolution. So, in Europe, there were three kinds of people: liberals, radicals, and conservatives. Let's learn about all of them in this video. First, let me tell you who are the liberals. Liberals are those who wanted secularism. We all have learned in class 8 that secularism means a nation must tolerate all the religions. It must not only give importance to one religion and keep it as the official religion. So liberals wanted a nation which tolerated all the religions. These people were completely against the uncontrolled power of the dynastic rulers. What do I mean by dynastic rulers? I mean those rulers who are coming due to heredity. I mean, they are not chosen by the people or voted by the people. Just because they are born in the family of the ruler, they become the next ruler after the age of 20. Liberals always wanted rights for individuals and they argued for an elected parliamentary government which subjected to the laws that were interpreted by a well-trained judiciary, and that was the independence of the rulers and officials. Basically, these people want a democratic government. But there is one point which tells that they are not Democrats. What do I mean by Democrats? Democrats are those people who believe completely in democracy and they want complete justice to democracy. But liberals were not those people. Why? I mean, they wanted a nation which tolerated all religions. They do not want dynastic rulers. Then why do you call them not Democrats? That's because they do not follow one main point for democracy. They do not believe in universal adult franchise. What do I mean by universal adult franchise? Basically, it is above 18 years you are allowed to vote for your representative. They do not want this. What do they want? They want that only men, okay, note it down, only men who had lot of property will get the right to vote. They do not know about women and they don't know about people who are not very prosperous. So this was liberal. So we learned about liberals. Now let's go to the second type of group. That was radicals. Who are the radicals? First of all, let me tell you that radicals, they are also like liberals only. They wanted a nation with secularism. And they wanted a nation in which government is based on the majority of the country's population. That means the person who gets the most votes by the people, they will get to become the ruler. Now, the second point about radicals is that they disliked the concentration of property in the hands of few and not the existence of private property. That means they wanted to distribute the concentration of property to 5-6 people. They did not want all the property's power to go only in the hands of one person. So now, I'm just giving an input over here that radicals can be called as complete Democrats. And why? Because they believed in UAF. They believed that every person must get a right to vote who's above 18 years. And let me tell you, radicals also supported the women's suffrage movement. Unlike the liberals, they opposed the privileges of the great landlords and wealthy factory owners. This photo which I have put over here, this shows some of the radicals which we'll be learning later in this chapter. So we learned about radicals and liberals. Now the third type of group, conservatives. A very important point to note over here is that conservatives were completely different from radicals and liberals. That means they completely opposed both of them. But, plus point, after the French Revolution, even the conservatives had opened their minds to the need for change. Earlier in the 18th century, conservatives generally opposed the idea of change, but later in the 19th century, they accepted that some change was inevitable. What do I mean by some change was inevitable? I mean that they came to know that, oh, these liberals and radicals are not going to give up, and there is going to be a time when I'm going to be thrown out and these people want democracy. But they believed that the past had to be respected and the change needs to be brought through a slow process. So these were the conservatives who first opposed radicals and liberals, but later, after the French Revolution that inspired them, they opened their mind for change. But they also believed that past has to be respected and change has to be brought through a slow process. So yes, liberals, radicals and conservatives. We learned about all three of them. But let me tell you, all three of them wanted democracy, but it was just that they had different ways of putting it up, or they had different ways of making those ideas come to implementation. So such differing ideas about the societal change always clashed during the social and political turmoil that followed the French Revolution, which is the Russian Revolution, which we'll be learning further in this video series on Socialism of Europe and the Russian Revolution. The various attempts at revolution and the national transformation in the 19th century helped to define both the limits and the potential of these political tendencies. So now I have told you all about conservatives, liberals, radicals, and what kind of change did they want, etc., etc. But let me tell you one thing, that once you are clear with who are conservatives, who are liberals, and who are radicals, this entire chapter will go very easy for you because it's almost based on these three concepts. So here I would like to end today's video session, and I'm sure you all have understood the quarter of the chapter, that is liberals, radicals and conservatives. Please do like and subscribe to my channel, and if you have any suggestions, please give it in the comments area.